morning, traders. I am Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at Newsware's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Tuesday, October 28th. Wall Street is riding a record-setting wave after the S&P 500 notched a record close yesterday, surpassing the 6,800-point level for the first time. The index added 83 points. The Dow closed solidly in the green, gaining 337 points. The Nasdaq climbed 432 points. Bill, let's get into today's action with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Yes. Good morning, Emily. I've been watching the S&Ps all morning long. They've been, flat to higher. We're up 0.08%, which is good. Hey, listen, the focus is on the earnings announcements from the major corporations. They're being monitored very closely. Also today, was the start of that Federal Reserve two-day policy meeting. Remember, there's going to be an announcement on quantitative tightening, I expect, tomorrow afternoon. President Trump left Japan. He's now in South Korea, scheduled to hold trade talks with the president of South Korea. To Japan, they talked about rare earths and nuclear tie-ups. We'll see. I don't know if that really is anything. What else do we have? PayPal. PayPal has teamed up with OpenAI to allow ChatGPT users to buy products with its payment system. That's hot. Honeywell's spinoff, SOLS, Solastis Advanced Materials, and DuPont's spinoff, Quinty, ticker Q. These two stocks, SOLS and Q, they're going to be added to the S&P 500 on Monday, November 4th. Interesting. Those are ones to watch. Tesla, their car sales in the EU, they fell 18.6% year over year in September. Ooh, that's not good. Overall, the car sales for the EU car sales in September actually gained 10%, but Tesla's market share is declining. Why? Because there's more competition. They've never had to deal with competition before. They've been really the only EV maker of all EV vehicles, and now that there's competition, guess what? You're starting to see that market share erode on Tesla. That they're talking about, it's changing gears. We're going to become a robot company. That sounds good in nature, but it's, I don't see that really being a key revenue driver for them in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. On the earnings front, hey, you know what? We're seeing gains in UPS, CFLT, United Healthcare, RUNH, Carrier Global, CARR, BioMarin, BMRN. They're all trading higher after their earnings announcements. Rambus, F5, FFIV, Royal Caribbean, RCL, Whirlpool, Waste Management, Armstrong Worldwide, AWR, they're all lower after their earnings announcements. After the bell today, you got Verizon, Mondelez, Seagate Technologies. They're all reporting. And then tomorrow morning, you got Boeing, Caterpillar, Verizon, CVS, GEHC, General Electric Healthcare, Etsy and EAT. They're all scheduled to announce tomorrow morning. Then we're taking a look over in Europe, and we're seeing the action in Europe this morning. The DAX is lower. It's down about 10. It's down 0.09 or 21 points. Flat to lower. The FTSE on the other hand is up 15 points or 0.156 or is up 15 points, 0.16. And the CAC is lower by about 0.07%, very, very minor. Some banking stocks in London are seeing some positive action. Energy stocks are weighing on the index. The tech is higher a little bit, I would say, in Europe. Then we're turning our attention over to Asia, and we're seeing what happened in the Asian markets, and we're looking at the Nikkei. The Nikkei fell 0.58%. What do we have here? Electronic stocks, metal stocks moved a little lower. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng slid 0.33%. Consumer and tech stocks edged lower. In China, China fell 0.22%. I mean, the U.S. and China agreed to that framework for potential trade deal that's expected to be finalized on Thursday. Other than that, it was really a kind of a muted trading session. But then we're taking a look at oil this morning, and oil is trading lower. I mean, I saw oil at one point down close to 2%. Right now, we got WTI trading at $60.49 a barrel, down 1.34%. We got Brent trading at $64.70 a barrel, down 1.40%. Okay, the key issue here is that OPEC is planning to discuss another production hike for December at this upcoming meeting. I believe the upcoming meeting is on Sunday. So that's causing a little weakness here because they're bringing more production to the table. And let's not forget about Russia. The last week and a half or so, you've been seeing outsized gains in crude oil because of these pending and then the announcement of sanctions on Russian oil. Just remember, Russia is very good at navigating around these sanctions. And oil is a global commodity. There's always a buyer for it, especially at a cheaper price. China will keep buying. India will keep buying. The UAE will keep buying. And other countries in those regions, they're going to still open up their ports to allow Russian cargo ships packed with oil in there, because if they can get it at a 20, 30% discount, why not? I mean, they're not taking the risk. Russia takes all the risk. So, and what if they're, are they insured? I can't tell you if these vessels are insured or not. They're supposed to be, but anything can happen. So yeah, oil down over 1.25% this morning, and that's what I have for you in terms of a morning market update, Emily.
Bill, as you mentioned, we are kicking off the two-day FOMC meeting today, and the anticipated announcement on monetary policy due out tomorrow. And in just a moment, we will get to the day's economic events, a little insight on that, and some other data points that are due out today. But when it comes to data, earnings is where it is at right now. You give us a little bit of a preview there in your opening, but a number of big name companies that have reported are going to report. So let's start there, Bill. What is going on in terms of earnings action?
Got to start out with UPS, United Parcel Services. They beat by 44 cents. They did it on higher revenue. That stock's up 12.09% this morning. Talking UNH, United Healthcare, they beat by 11 cents, and they did that on higher revenue. That stock's up 4.95%. Wayfair, ticker W, they beat by 26 cents. They did it on higher revenue. Looking at the stock this morning, Wayfair showing a gain of 9.13%. Not bad. And Sherwin-Williams, SHW, Sam Henry Williams, they beat by 6 cents. They did it on a higher revenue. That stock's up 5.33% this morning. And UNH and Sherwin-Williams are in the Dow. That's those are two big movers in the Dow this morning. Upcoming after the bell today, you got Verizon, ticker V. Their EPS is $2.96. Expected move is 3.57%. You got Seagate Technology, that's ticker STX, Sam, Tom, X-Ray. EPS is $2.36. Expected move is 10.03% when they release after the bell today, Emily.
Bill, there's a lot of data to be following on the earnings front, a whole host of reports, and you're following all of those using your newsware. This is how you're gathering this information, not only catching what has come out, but being able to follow what is ahead. The other area that you use to follow news is economic reports. You have an economic alert on your newsware, along with one for the Fed. So let's get to economic events. Bill, what is going on there?
Oh, we're still kind of light on economic reports due to the shutdown. There is indications that the shutdown may end, in November. We'll have to wait and see if that happens or not. There's still a lot of talking to be done. But in terms of economic reports, at 9 a.m., you're going to get the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. At 10 a.m., the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index. And I also think the Consumer Confidence Number, will be out today at 10 a.m. as well, because that's not part of the government entity. So, yeah, we've got a couple of good economic reports to watch this morning, Emily.
Along with earnings reports and economic events, you are also following other types of news, data, and information. So using your newsware, you're also following things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, and catalyst calls. Every morning, you're looking at your stocks grouped together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks to track trends on the trading day. So Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
I'm just doing a quick data check. I got 11 higher, none unchanged, and the rest lower. So 19 lower. this morning. Then I'm looking at my FANG stocks, and you know, they are trading higher. I mean, Apple's off a little bit, but everything else is higher, so we should start to see some gains, this morning. You're looking at some of the news behind the tape, and there's a lot of action going on today. I mean, you look at Amazon. I mean, they're going to be reducing their workforce by 14,000 roles, the company said yesterday. I actually saw a number of 30,000, but maybe it's a little less. Maybe we'll have to get some clarity on that. Tesla's shocking me this morning because the stock is actually trading higher. It's up almost 1 full percentage point. I mean, their market share in the EU has fallen to 2.9% from 3.9% last year. It comes down to more EV choices on the market. Tesla is battling market share headwinds, for the foreseeable future. Their car business is not this elite, gem as it once was. So yeah, we're a little concerned here, but I'm looking at Tesla. It is trading higher this morning. We'll see if they're able to hold those gains. We're talking Disney. We're talking Dow Jones 30 stock. And we got to start with Disney, ticker DIS. Disney's Formula One to launch a collaboration at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Cisco, ticker CSCO. You look at the stock. It is off a little bit, but they're going to be building AI infrastructure with G42 in that UAE partnership expansion. Oh, let's talk NVIDIA. NVIDIA is trading higher this morning. It's up about 1%. NVIDIA CEO is going to be speaking today at noon at a tech event in Washington, D.C., and he's going to be talking about AI innovation. So, this is what fuels NVIDIA stock. So, keep an eye on that. In terms of merger news, we got to talk about SWKS. So, Sam William Kilo Sam Skyworks. They're going to buy Qorvo. They're going to be merging with Qorvo to create a $22 billion semiconductor enterprise. Not bad. In terms of guidance news, Snowflake, SNOW, they put out a SEC filing, and they reaffirmed their Q3 2026 revenue guidance. That's positive. UPS sees Q4 revenue 24 billion. Street estimate was at 23.83 billion. That's an uptick. United Healthcare, they see full year 2025 adjusted EPS to come in at least $16.25. That's higher than their previous announcement of 16 and above the consensus of $16.22. But you look at that UNH, it's up more than 4.5% this morning. Ooh. Shareholders meeting, CTOS, Charlie, Tom, Apple, Sam, they're having a shareholders meeting today, 11:30 a.m. In terms of buyback news, MSCI announced a 3 billion share buyback. Carrier Global, ticker CARR, Charlie, Apple, Richard, they announced a 5 billion share repurchasing program. And that's what I have for you in terms of news in the tape today, Emily.
This is the type of data that Newsware delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk Pick of the Day. Bill, what is your pick of the day today?
I'm going with AEP, American Electric Power. Earnings are out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. EPS is $1.84, which is a little high. It's a high bar. Expected move is 4.87%. You look at yesterday's call volume: 6,422 calls versus 794 puts. Then you look at the open interest: 57,000 versus 22,000. Yeah, that's positive. Major brokers are raising price targets on it. They do like the stock. I mean, the EPS bar is high. So if I can get the momentum, gain during the day, I'll take it and walk away. But I'm trying to get in 116 area, give or take 20 cents. But that's my pick of the day: American Electrical Power, ticker AEP, Apple, Edward, Paul, Emily.
Another earnings play today, Bill. We will follow AEP along with you. And coming up in just a moment, we will check in on yesterday's pick of the day. So stick with us through that. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Well, PayPal is out there talking about Venmo revenue to more than $2 billion by 2027. It's positive. Because PayPal is also putting their services in ChatGPT. That was announced this morning. That's a hot one. Kenvue, KVUE, Neutrogena recalls makeup remover wipes over bacterial contamination risk. Lilly, LLY, they received FDA approval for drug treatment. Fairmont Sundance is going to be around the layouts, about 1,000 jobs. PepsiCo, they resolved a lawsuit that accused it of falsely marketing Gatorade protein bars as good for you, since they contain more sugar than protein. That's the issue. You got to add the sugar to make it enjoyable to eat. That's all I'm saying this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we dive into trading on this Tuesday, let's take a look at yesterday's pick of the day, which was LabCorp Holdings. Now, they did release earnings this morning. They reported a Q3 adjusted EPS of $4.18, which was a slight beat over expectations. They did raise their full year guidance to $16.15 to $16.50. Bill, you were looking at this one yesterday. You had a specific entry price. It did slip a little bit yesterday. It is inching its way back up this morning. How did your call work out?
Yeah, my entry price was off. The indicators were all looking really positive, and the stock was trading above, the 280, so it had a high bar to reach. But it opened up at the high of the day, and it kind of, fell from there. I mean, it wasn't a good trade, and but I know I'll do better, later on. I just that one was a tough one because it looked good. Stock opened up, at 280.36, then it fell to 274.26, and then closed out at 275.66. Yeah, it's trading higher this morning, but it's not going to hit that. I don't think it's going to hit that 280. The revenue wasn't strong enough, on the report that they released this morning. But listen, I'm 90% accurate. Sometimes I have a miss. This is one of them. Sometimes it happens. What can I say? I strive to do well. But that's what I have for you this morning, Emily.
Sometimes a miss, but certainly not all the time. Again, you were looking at that data look good, and just sometimes pieces of the puzzle don't add up. And you did point out, at least to me yesterday, that trading volumes in that one are low. So it can be tough with those data points. Sometimes it doesn't pan out as we think, but we live to trade another day, as you say, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's American Electric Power pick of the day. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at Newsware's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Bonney, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.